Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Bills, and today we're dealing with the 1957 Hot Wheels Studebaker Golden Hawk Dream Roadster, and this is the final Hot Wheels car in the Legends car pack that we're going to be taking out on this series. The Julie is unfortunately not able to be taking part in this series, but nonetheless this has 856 horsepower, 827 pounds-feet of torque from a 6-litre twin-turbocharged V8 engine. The car itself now weighs 3,550 pounds, has off-road tyres, all-wheel drive and off-road suspension, and it can now do 0 to 60 in 1.994 seconds, 0 to 100 in 4.744 seconds, and going to a top speed of 178 miles an hour. So the Hot Wheels 2 Jets in the previous episode was really rather quick. In fact, it's the quickest Hot Wheels car that we've had on this series, full stop, not just in terms of this car pack. So yeah, this has a lot to prove really, and I'm not wholly confident that it's going to be able to manage to beat that 2 Jets, purely because it doesn't have all that much in the way of power in comparison to that, and this weighs more than that vehicle as well by quite a significant margin. In fact, it's nearly twice as much in terms of weight. So yeah, and even though the 2 Jets was also never meant to go off-road like this, I think the way that the 2 Jets was set up in stock form benefited in terms of doing this course, because it did look like an off-road buggy in a lot of ways with its, its exposed suspension, its lightweight body, and the fact it was really quite small in terms of wheelbase. So yeah, this isn't going to be as quick as that, no doubt about that, but it will be interesting to see what it can do in comparison to the rest of the car pack that's been able to take part in this series. Because yeah, the 2 Jets was significantly faster than, say, the Nash Metropolitan or the International Harvester. So yeah, I want to see how it does in comparison to those cars, but also it would be interesting to see what it can do in comparison to the rest of the vehicles that have taken place in this series. It's doing okay so far, no real issues with putting the power down or dealing with the off-road conditions. The all-wheel drive system isn't making it understeer heavily, and the bumps and jumps are really no real issue. A little bit squirmy there. That might well have been my angle of attack. Yeah, this is no doubt has the acceleration needed to get out of the corners quickly. It's all about whether or not it's going to be quick enough in the other areas. Not going to be anywhere near as quick on this final bit as the 2 Jets was. In fact, it's quite slow actually across the finish line there at 153 miles an hour, which is going to hurt its time. Yeah, at 2 minutes 6 seconds .987, which means it's the 3rd fastest car from the car pack that we've taken out in this series. Slower than the 2 Jets, and slower than the International Harvester, which managed 2 minutes 5 seconds .736, but it is quicker than the Nash, which managed 2 minutes 7.387. Where did the LUV come? I have forgotten about that, to be honest, because all the cars that were taken out. Yeah, it's also quicker than the LUV, and Hot Wheels cars in general. Let me just check. It's slower than the Rip Rod, but yeah, it is quicker than the International Harvester, the LUV and the Nash. So yeah, 3rd fastest isn't all that bad, and 2nd fastest out of the car pack itself is also pretty damn good. Would have been interesting to see what the Ford Julie could have done in comparison to these cars, because yeah, that has 4 tyres at the rear and is really like a hot rod from the 40s. So yeah, it's a great shame that we can't do that car, but we principally can't because it can't fulfill the criteria for this series. We need off-road tyres, off-road suspension and all-wheel drive, and we need 2 of those to take part in this series. It's purely there to make it more fair, because if a car has race tyres or whatever like that, they could well be quicker than a car on off-road tyres, or lighter than a car with all-wheel drive or anything like that. So it's really just to make it as fair as possible. So yeah, that's why we have those rules there, and most cars are able to abide by those rules. That's another reason why it's rarely become an issue. But we are also as fast as a Ram 2,500 Power Wagon and a Lancia Fulvia, so which is kind of interesting. And we're also quicker than a Ford Escort rally car, Hot Wheel, the Renault 5 Turbo and the Volkswagen Touareg R50. Slightly slower than a Jaguar CX-75, a Ford Escort RS1600, Chevrolet Impala Super Sport and a Subaru Impreza 22B. So yeah, kind of middling in terms of its time overall, but second best out of the car pack is pretty good, even if it is only slightly quicker than the Nash and the Chevrolet. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!